Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Market Insights with Linux, and welcome to this new video right here on Tesla. Wanted to do a video on Tesla either way. I make a video on Tesla every week, so if you're interested in that, in technical analysis with also a bit of fundamental analysis and a fundamental update, consider subscribing, because that's also what we're going to do in this video. But I more so wanted to make this video as well because of what has happened over the last 24 hours, which has started, of course, at the beginning of June with a bit of a fallout between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And that has continued over the course of the last 24 hours. And that mainly has to do with the big, beautiful bill. I think that's BBB, yeah. It has to do with that and Elon Musk's thoughts on that. And then also the reactions by Donald Trump on that, right? So we'll talk about that, and then we'll mix that into a technical analysis here. Now, if I look a little bit worn out or something, don't worry, all right? I very much appreciate your concern, but it's very hot right now where I live. So I'm trying to make these videos right here while the sun is burning outside of my window. But for now, let's get right into it. So ultimately, when we're talking about the technicals here on the short term, I think it's good to start off with that, and then we'll zoom in a little bit here on Tesla. Ultimately, this was to be expected. We spoke about this in my last video on Tesla, right? Because what Tesla has done, basically since the beginning of May, it has broken above this level right here between 300 and 280, and it has gone back into this area right here between 280 at the bottom, and then at the top right here 380/400. So it has gotten back into this balance area. So what we said last week as well, even though I thought, to be fair, that we would be able to hold the area around 335, 325 a little bit longer, which we did until we got the news, until we got the escalation between the two gentlemen. But this was to be expected. I mean, we hit a significant resistance level right here. The levels that we are at right now, $303 after the New York opening here, this is all within the range, right? And fundamentally, I think Tesla is actually still a good company, regardless of what's happening right now. And I also think, we'll get to that in a moment when we're talking about, can we actually crash? Can we actually break down? But I think it's a great company, but I don't see enough reasons fundamentally nor technically to suspect that we're going to break out of this range, right? So we have this range right here. So price action like this is normal. And there's nothing to be worried about, even if we see an escalation between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And the main reason for that is that, first of all, we've had a good reaction here to 300 and 295, which was the first line of defense here at that major level between 300 and 280. But we still have major support between 280 and 260. So that means that, yes, I mean, if this escalates and Donald Trump really starts to threaten with taking away subsidies, etc., which obviously would have an effect on Tesla, which already is under quite a bit of pressure with Chinese EVs, etc. But if that happens, can we pull back lower? Yes, certainly. But I do think ultimately that, first of all, this is not as much of a problem as last time around. Last time around, we also held this level, by the way, so that's great. And then second of all, this is about one topic. I mean, I think ultimately it will be resolved. And I think Trump is also not going to do anything major regarding this, given the fact that, Musk has helped him quite a bit. So yeah, therefore, I mean, if we go to the technicals here on the lower time frames, can we drop down lower with escalation? Sure. But for now, I think it's most likely that this level is going to provide support, right? So that we'll see something like this, worst case scenario, if we actually do see escalation, and then stability, because I do expect us to reclaim those levels. And best case scenario, we just hold these levels and we'll consolidate down here. I think it's quite hard to get a move up to 350, 360 again with these fundamentals, but still consolidation and stability at these levels is actually not bad long term. So I would say that's most likely. So do I think that there's a reason to expect a Tesla crash? Not necessarily, but I do think short term, we can drop down as much as 13, 10% if it really escalates. I just think that from there, we will recover. But yeah, so those are my thoughts. I think that's what you need to know. If you do have any questions, anything, let me know down in the comments. Make sure to subscribe if you're interested in more of these Tesla updates. But that's it for now. Thank you and take care.